Yo, what's poppin' guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of how to make a FNAF game in Scratch tutorial series. In the last one, I think we did power, jump scares, and something else. Today we are going to work on, the stars that you get for completing specific things. We're going to work on that, as well as working on saving. And then after that, we will have custom night. And then that should be the final episode of the series. I hope you're just as excited as I am. Let's get right into it. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to start by duplicating this play button that we have, and I'm going to name it load button. Okay? Now, we're going to keep all of this the same. Green flag, literally every single little bit of this. We're just going to, first of all, change this to say load. And by the way, if you hear a fan, that's because there is one. It's super hot in my office, so I'm sorry about that. There we go. All this stuff, except instead of this mouse down, what we are going to do is broadcast a new message called load data. Okay? Just like that. And then before it does any of this stuff, that's all it's going to do right here. Okay, for now, just that. Then you're going to grab a when I receive and make it when I receive load, if we could find it, load data. Okay, now what we need is I have this bit of code here that I'm going to drag in. Okay, here it is. So now, don't get worried. I know you don't have this and I know I didn't walk through it. That's because I'm not going to in this video, because I have a video explaining exactly this system right here, explaining the entire system in a saving system. I'll link that video in the description. If you want to know how it's done, go there to figure out how to do it. Or if you just want to take this code, I'll leave a link to the project that you can go to take this bit of code and put it in your backpack so that you can use it, okay? So I'll give you a second to do that. When you're done, come back when you can get this. Well, if you're still watching, I'm assuming that you have this bit of code, and this is what you're seeing right now when you have it up, okay? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to modify this little section of code. Before we can do loading, we have to set up saving, right? So what we're going to do is, remember how when we lose, we get this death? Alright, yes, that's exactly what we want, right? So this death will get the death screen, and then after 5 seconds, instead of broadcasting the green flag, what it will do is we will broadcast a message called death save, as we're going to have a few different kinds of saves, maybe. So we're just going to make sure this one is death save. And then also, while in the backdrop, we're going to grab a when I receive death save. We are going to grab in this other set of code, which again, you can find in that same project or in that same video where I go over it. And you'll see all of this stuff a bit bigger, because saving is a bit more complex than loading is. And again, I'm not going to go over what any of this stuff means, because I have a whole video on that you can go check out right now if you want to know what this is and what it does. But I'm just going to be showing you how to modify what we have here. So basically, all this stuff, completely fine. So basically, what importing this has given you is it has given you these lists. It's given you all numbers, CD, D-store, final codes, letters, and number encoding. The only ones that we're going to be touching right now really are final codes and letters. So the first thing we're going to do is take our letters, and we're going to have to set up a system that classifies what a letter is, because in our password, since we're encoding, we'll need numbers only, and we want to make sure that they don't accidentally put in a letter and mess up their code. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a when green flag clicked. We're going to delete all of letters, and then we are going to add, make sure this is set to letters, A, and then you're going to put in every single letter, and I'll be right back when I'm done. Alright, I am back, and I hope you are too. As you see, what I've added is I've added every single letter in the alphabet, A through Z, and then every single common symbol that you get on a normal keyboard, which is, all the common ones. So, like you just kind of go through, put in every symbol. The symbols aren't necessary. You don't really have to add these letters at all. This is just because if you just want to have it to be like Well, it's on their fault if they, put in letters even though it says not to. But either way, I do this just in case. At least the letters. What's basically going to do here is we are going to, as a precaution, duplicate this and change green flag to death save, just because you never know what could go wrong, so you want this to call at the exact same time. And we're going to say, what's your password? Cheat this. Instead of this repeat 26 times, what we're going to do is instead put length of letters instead. Makes it a lot easier. And then keep all of this the same. And then what we're going to do is it's going to ask you to paste your code. We will get you a code, right? So all that good stuff. Well, we won't have a code actually. So what we need to do is actually, I pasted these backwards. I'm very sorry. I pasted these backwards. This is the save. This is the save right here. So grab this one, put it in your backdrop, take this, grab this, put it in your load, because, okay, well, what we'll do, I'm sorry there. How foolish of me. This is the load stuff. This is the load data. This is the save data right here. A lot smaller. Saving's a lot easier. Loading's the problem. So, here's what we're going to do. When you have in this load data, again, take this 26 and just do length of letters. It's going to run this to check to make sure that your password doesn't contain any of the symbols here. Basic rundown of what that is. Then, if that's true, it'll set your password to whatever answer you put in, meaning it's setting your password, meaning you can't change your password every single time you save. Then what it'll do is you'll have this little bit of code. You'll probably have, if you take it from the backpack, you'll probably have 4 of these just because of the tutorial. I used 4 as an example. Just get rid of all of them until you just have 1. So what we're going to do is we need to set up, how do I say this? So basically, take this out. And we are going to need to find out what night we are on. Because after you die, we're going to have you save, right? So if you die, we have a night number, right? Clearly, right here. So what we'll do is we'll take night number and we'll put it in there. And then that'll put that in one of number encoding. What I do as just a precautionary is add a delete all of number encoding so nothing messes up. Right above that. I'll zoom in a little bit, I'm sorry. There we go. So delete all the number encoding, put your night number in there, because your first number of your code is going to be your night. Now what we need to do is decide what else needs to be saved. At the moment, nothing else is needed to be saved, so we'll keep this as it is. Okay? And then what we will have this do is we will have a delete all of final codes, and then we will add number encoding, like as in this little bubble that defines the entire list of the number encoding in here, and we will add this to final codes, and then we will show our list of final codes. Now what you can do now is take this final codes list and maybe put it at like the top of your screen and stretch it out just like that. And now we're going to create a new backdrop for our save screen. Save screen, and I'm just going to take this and make it say like save data. Bam, just like that. And then I will hide this just to see if it looks nice. Okay, I think I'm going to move this up a little bit more just so you'll be able to see the save data and like your list won't cover it. Perfect. So on top of that, death save, when you show it, will switch its backdrop to save screen. So just make sure it does that. All that good stuff. Make sure to save frequently so your progress doesn't get lost. And that's that. Okay? That's what it does. If you want to add another thing real quick, just so the player, in case you're afraid the player won't know what to do, right underneath here, you can add a triple click this code and save it somewhere safe. And then don't forget to put this in final codes. Perfect. Okay. Now we have a saving system that happens if the player dies. Now what we need to set up is for one. What if the player wins? Well, we obviously need to have a system that lets you save after you win. I'm pretty sure we had our saving fit into our office. Yes, we did. Night finished. So, night finished. All this stuff. I think it's in here that we show what night finished does. Okay, right here, yep. Night finished. Okay. So, if anything, we don't even need to. We can just have it broadcast death save. So, I had this in my head. I wasn't 100% sure if we were going to have multiple saves. We don't need one. Just have it death save. I know you didn't die. Trust me, I'm very aware. If you want to, for some reason, go and make the variable just save, you can go right ahead and do that. Not necessary, though. Death save. Broadcast all this same stuff. Ooh, yes, it will, actually. Never mind. I lied to you. So, under death save, what we're going to do is... Well, no. No, this works just fine. This works just fine. I lied. I'm sorry for the confusions. So, and that will be it. So, paste the code somewhere safe. And then if we want to add one more underneath that, we can do when done, click, oh, I can't spell click. Click the green flag. Fantastic. And now what that will do is it will set us up completely. Or if, no, we don't have to do that. If we want to do when done, right? Press, I don't know, G. G for green flag, right? Press G. I'm going to add an exclamation point. Okay, and then what we'll do is we will grab inside of controls, grab a wait until key. Oh, that's in sensing, excuse me. Wait until key G is pressed. And then what that will do is it will broadcast green flag. And then there we go. Just like that, you can hide your final codes list. That should be our saving done. Now let's make our loading. So inside of our loading, we have this big long bit of code. Don't let it confuse you. If you watch the video, you should have a pretty basic understanding. If you don't, just plug these things in. What we're going to start off by doing is grabbing a length of letters and putting it in there instead of the 26. We're going to come down here. It asks your password first, and then it'll ask your code. And then when the code is pasted, it'll decrypt the entirety of your code. Then it will. Then here we are here. Okay. So basically, here's what we need to set up. All right, here we go. Now what we're going to do is since you only have one, we're going to grab a set variable here, and we're going to set night number. Go to operators, and grab yourself a abs of, and in this abs of we are going to do ceiling, because what basically this does is it rounds numbers. So ceiling means it will round up, and if you chose floor, it would round down. So if we have 1.4 and you round to the ceiling, it chooses 2. If we had floor, it choose 1. That's what it does. We're just rounding. Because sometimes the code gets a little bit wonky and it'll give you decimal, so you round just to make sure you get a whole number. So to that of, grab yourself a division and put it in there. Grab a, okay, we will need to do and item 1 of final codes divided by password. Okay, and that will be allowed to load your data. I'm going to do a quick run through this code, very, very basic, okay? Basically what happens is you put in your password, and it'll check if it has letters. If it doesn't have any letters or symbols, what it'll do is it'll ask you for your code. You'll input your code. It'll decrypt every single number of your code. And then what it'll do is it'll put each and every individual number code into a separate part of the list, and then you call to that list divided by your password, because inside of your save, what you do is multiply your number by a password. So in return, you need to divide it by a password to get your original number. That's a very basic explanation. If you want more in detail, go watch the video, link in the description, where I go through this process. All right, fantastic. Then what we can have it say is maybe welcome back. Yeah, we'll have it say welcome back. And then we will broadcast a thing called, I like to always call it, show new. That's what I always like to call it. And then we will have this hide. Now on our play button, instead of green flag, we will have show new. Our static can stay the same. And we'll just find every instance that shows up on the main menu, which in my case, I'm pretty sure is just this. Alright, this guy. No, this guy doesn't matter. This guy can show up whenever he wants. So, one more thing I want to do is come to our load button, and when this mouse is down, what it will do is it will ask you, do you have an account? In parentheses, y/n for yes or no. Then what you'll do is grab an if-else, if, grab an equals, yeah, or y. So if answer equals y, we will load data, right? Else, we will say, well, no. If else, we will just broadcast show new. That's what we'll do. We'll just broadcast show new right off the bat. Perfect. One more thing I want to do when the green flag is this. You want to hide. Oh, yeah, final codes. Bam. Just like that. Let's take a look. Okay. We see an issue already. Our play button is showing. We have to figure out why it's doing that now. Even though, regardless of the fact that we clearly tell it not to. So, why is it loading? Let's figure it out. Guys, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Don't forget, in your play button, when the green flag is received, you're going to hide because, you know, obviously, we've never actually set it to do that. There we go. So you have your load button, and what it'll say is, it'll ask if you have an account. If you say no. Oh, right. When I was testing, I took that out. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. All right. Hit this. So if you say no, it just shows your play button, and you can go ahead and play like normal. Okay. What that just did right there. Make sure you grab this. Oh, grab this bit of code. Put that under your show now. Just so like hides and goes off to the corner, just like we did with our other stuff. Because otherwise you can still click it. You have an account? No. Click this. And then we get into our gameplay, night one, all that stuff we've already practiced. Now, let's get into a game and lose. So do we have an account? No. Let's set up... Okay, well here. Let's just force a save. And the way we'll force a save is I will set my night to something. So let's set my night to, let's say, 3. Okay? My night is set to 3. And what we will do is we will broadcast death save. Yeah, let's broadcast. Let's just broadcast death right off the bat. Okay. We have this stuff showing, but that's just because it's playing out weirdly. And then bam, it has a save data screen. And it'll ask right here, what's your password? And now we create a password. Now whatever we want to do, let's just say my password is 48573. Bam. It generates this little code. Triple click the code just like it says. Copy. And then when you press G, it brings us back to that. I don't know why it didn't show. That's a bit weird. Why it didn't appear. Oh, because we added it to all numbers. Make sure you add that to final codes. There you go. And now you see, when we hit load, we say, yes, we have an account. It asks what our password is. Guys, I don't remember what I made my password. Guys, I don't remember when I made my password. Okay, hold on. I gotta force another one because I forgot what I made my password. Guys, I'm stupid. Guys, I'm dumb. I'm a little bit dipsy. I'm not the brightest not the brightest guy. Okay. Okay, game over screen. Save data. Password. Let's just do 5678 9. We'll do 56789. Gives us code. Okay, yeah, there it goes. Triple click. When done, press G. There we go. Load. Do we have an account? Yes. Password 56. Oh, that's not 5. 56789. It checks. And then it asks what's our code. We paste in that little code we got. We hit enter. It's loading it. Takes a little bit. Welcome back. We hit play. Don't worry about that thing. We'll fix that in a second. And night 3, it loaded our data correctly. Very, very nice. And to fix that weird thing where it asked again, duplicate this stuff, or just duplicate the switch to costume 2, and just put it right at the bottom right there. That'll fix that. If you want to make it look more aesthetically pleasing so it doesn't look like the game just isn't doing anything, what you can do is right here, set it to say checking password, right? And then make sure right above the what's your code, you make sure it says blank. And then right here when you input your code, make sure it says decrypting. Or no, let's not do that. Let's do loading data. Loading data. Just like that. And then when it says welcome back, that should be all we need. So we hit load. Do you have an account? Yes. What's your password? 56789. Enter. Checks our password. What's your code? Paste the code. Now it says it's loading our data. So the player knows the game is actually doing something right now. And when it's done, it'll say... It will say, welcome back. Load our play button. Our night should be the number 3. And it says night 3. And then, you know, we get into night 3 and all that stuff. But that's besides the point. The fact is it worked. And there you go. You have your saving systems. Now, to set up your star system, right? Let's say... So first of all, let's just get in a picture of a star, right? So I'm going to draw a pretty garbage star. We're going to call it star 1, this new sprite, star 1, because you might have multiple stars. I don't know what you're doing. Okay? You do what you do you. I'm just going to make my star a yellow X. That's what I'm going to do. So make my star a little bit of a yellow X. Bam, there's my star. It's beautiful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to decide where I want it by moving the static for the moment and dragging it. Let's say I want the star to be right here. And that will be the star. Star 1 will be the star for beating all 5 knights, for example. Okay? So what we're going to do is when I receive green flag, we will hide. When I receive show new, we will grab an if greater than, put a 4 at this last bubble, and in the front, go knight. So if your knight is greater than 4, meaning 5 or higher, right? So that we do that just in case for some reason it loads weirdly, just above 4, meaning it has to be 5. If you want to go extra precautionary measure, you can put in an or and put 5 and make this an equals. Literally the same thing. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep it just in case. And then what we're going to do is we are going to make it go to this position, wherever it happens to be. Make sure it's in the right one. So negative 117. Again, I'm checking that by looking at these two numbers. And y of 154. It will show. And just like that, there you go. Or else, you'll hide. Now what we're going to want to do is when I receive, you'll do fade, or should we do night screen? No, we'll do night screen. That should actually make more sense. Night screen, wait, are 0.7 money shot seconds, and hide. There you go. So now you see, when we start up the game, and we load our data that we already had set up, 56789, checks the password, asks for our code. We load in the data, and as the data is loading, I will ask you how your day is doing, and I hope it is doing good, because we're almost done with this series, and it's going to be really, really good in the finale. I think I know why this is taking so long. Yeah, you see this wait 1 second in your load button? Get rid of that. That makes everything so much slower. I can't believe I didn't notice that. Do you have an account? Yes. 56789. Checking the password, which never takes that long. What's your code? Boom. Loading data. Welcome back. Way faster. Okay, then play. And you see how it didn't show up. The star did not show up because we only had 3, right? Now, for example, if we set our night to 5 here and force a save, like we've done before. Oh, our fade button is showing. There we go. Asks, what's our password? This is showing because it's our night screen. It'll say save data. What's our password? We'll do 56789 again. There's our new code. Press G. Load. Do we have an account? Yes. What's our password? 56789. Checks the password. Do we have a new code? Yep. There it is. Loading our data. Welcome back. And look at that. Our star, because our night is greater than 5. There you go. There is your saving system and your stars. If we go ahead and press play, we'll get the night 5 screen. Night 5. And then night 5 will play out. Very, very nice. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it anyways, because I'm hoping the series is helping you out. Hoping you're learning a few things. These guys are moving really quick. While you're at it, why not subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content and help me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.